What's going on, everybody? This training video is going to be about the difference between fundamentals and technical analysis. The reason why I use technical analysis instead of fundamentals is because it just doesn't lie. Where a company could be telling you it's the best thing, it's curing cancer, they're the greatest, there's so much money coming, and meanwhile the chart price is just going down. Why is that? Well, maybe there's a fundamental flaw, or there's a flaw in the narrative that they're trying to sell to you, but the reality is the people that have the insight and the know-all are selling it off because they know better. They know what's wrong with the company. That's why I ignore news. I just look at the technical analysis because it just does not lie. And if you're in something and you fall in love with the narrative, you could get burned so bad from that. Like, it's happened to me, it's happened to a lot of people. A lot of people I know, they've asked me, oh, check out this chart, or I've invested a bunch in this and it's down this. It's like, well, it looks like you fell in love with the story and it turned out to be not exactly what they were telling you. And so that's why I do this technical analysis. Numbers and charts don't lie to me. I believe them. So when I look at choose which name I'm focusing on, I look at which ETF it is in. So for semiconductors, I'm just going to use this as an example. The ETF is SMH. And from the peak of the semiconductor hype to where we are at now, we're down 13.5%. So remember that number, 13.5% down. Now when we look at other companies, how much are they down? So from their peak, down AVGO. And this is the company I'm most interested in at the moment. There's a reason why I put them in this order. It's down 11.92%. NVDA is down 21%. I didn't even realize it was that much. 21.5%. AMD. Where are we at here? AMD down just around close to 49%, 48.75, somewhere in there. I'll zoom in. 49%, 48.99%. SMCI. They could be great companies. 76% down. Oh, even more than that, actually. 76.79%. So these are like the more popular tickers for the ETF. So relative to the ETF, which 13.5%, which one would I be focusing on playing? Would I be focusing on the ones that are lifting the ETF, or would I be focusing on the names that are bringing the ETF down? What type of patterns are they in? Are they in long-term uptrends, or are they in long-term downtrends? So AVGO is in a complete uptrend. We haven't even changed the daily trend bearish at this, the daily trend bearish. So we did have a big drop, but we haven't even topped out here and showed a lower low or anything at this point. And that's, oh wait, no, sorry. We did show, sorry, from the, oh, we did actually. I guess we did show a weekly lower high and a lower low. Overall in the chart, because I guess, yeah, this was a, yeah, lower high. Okay, so we are in a weekly downtrend as of now. So when the weekly bottoms out, which it might have with this candle, we would just be looking for a weekly lower high than this previous candle here. Anyways, what's the difference between all these companies? So AMD, we are in a monthly downtrend. That is a long-term downtrend. Compared to AVGO and NVDA, actually NVDA might not even 153.13. Yeah, NVIDIA is technically, oh yeah, no, it is in a weekly downtrend too. Okay, so I mean, but AMD is in a monthly downtrend. That takes a lot longer to right that ship around. So once this bottoms out on the monthly, which we're just looking for a higher low than this 93.12. So we got a ways to go. We can go to the downside. We're just still looking for that lower high. So relative to the other companies, why would I play this? Why would I play SMCI, which is in a monthly downtrend too? Just looking at the lows. They're at 52-week lows. Why? When names are closer to all-time high, that gives us less resistance for breakouts and then to see all-time high runs. So if you really do believe in a sector that it is going to go up, play the names that are the best in the sector, that are lifting the sector up. So yeah, I'll go back to AMD. It's like everyone's asking me about AMD and like, oh, because it's a semiconductor, what's this telling you? This long-term downtrend is something. When you have other names so close to all-time highs, what's that telling you when this is down 50%? To me, that's not screaming a buy. It's not telling me invest. It's not telling me anything. It's telling me that this is one of the weaker names of the sector, and I should avoid it. And that's the way you should do it too, especially SMCI. Like, whatever this was a huge, insane bull run. It doesn't mean that's going to happen for years or decades. Like, it might never see this price again for all we know. I mean, it might, but a lot has to change before this is even in question. And when you're in a monthly downtrend, I would want to see a monthly uptrend start, because this has the power to go all the way back down to these levels. That's the way these things work. So be cautious. Be cautious when you're buying these semiconductors right now, because now we have these these headline risk news with tariffs and extra tariffs on semiconductor names. I full disclosure, I have a few positions in NVDA right now, and I got risk free, so I'm not really overly stressed about it. But if I got in close to the bottom, but if I had my full position and I'm looking at this and I didn't take any profit, I'm looking at another flush down possibly. So this closed off with a daily bear flag. We have a daily bear flag with bad headline news, and we're getting close to the lows. We already stopped our daily bounce and we headed down. Now we're looking at, we did get a bit of a bump there on Friday, but sold off all the way back down to the 200 moving average. But if I'm playing semiconductors names at this point, I would be playing AVGO. Why is that? Because this bounce hasn't even topped out yet. So if I'm convinced that I want to play semiconductors at this time, I would rather play one that had a better bounce, and that also tells me something about the fundamentals or the narrative or something that's going on. So NVIDIA and the other names are closer to their lows. So maybe by this headline risk, maybe AVGO is set up better than these companies. Like, I don't know. I don't know a thing about AVGO. I just know it's a semiconductor company. But from what I'm seeing in the chart, it's telling me maybe there's something fundamental that's better than the other companies at this time. So that's why I'm more inclined to follow this name, because there's more chance of seeing that upside. And like in the bounce initially, NVDA was the bounce winner, but it quickly got flushed down afterwards, and now AVGO is the best bounce winner. So that's the shifting. People realizing maybe AVGO would be, like I said, I don't know anything about AVGO, but from what I'm seeing in this chart, it is telling me a story that it is the better positioned from all the semiconductors if there's going to be more bad news. And that's pretty much what I'm telling you guys. Whatever kind of subsector you're looking at, know the ETF, know the companies that are associated with those subsectors, and play the names that are pulling those subsectors up. And that should be your focus. If you're into energy stocks or financial or any of that sort, focus on the top ones, because they have the most upside potential. You want the least resistance. Okay, that's all for this video. Thank you and goodbye.